Run Pure Sports. Oh, yes, we're going to talk some baseball today. It's Holden. It's DC. Uncle T gracing us with his presence. And, Titletown in the chat was already saying, and this is a free show. Hello, everybody. We're going to give out our course today. But Titletown in the chat said, I'm just here to see what Gary looks like. Can we get an ISO on Gary right now? For those of you that don't know Gary, he was a subscriber in the Discord. And we hired him because he was so good at what he did. And now his sexy ass is sitting on the camera. I don't know how you weaseled your way in here today, Gary, but I sure am happy you did. How are you, man?
Good. I guess enough people had to call out today, so they brought up the B team today.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it was. That's what Captain said anyway.
Mangone wants to know, will you manhandle me or will I destroy Gary? Only Mangone would think of something in that terms. He's just a sick individual. Uncle T, it's just so wonderful to see you. Our podcast begins in about 3 weeks from now, the Old Guys podcast. Maybe it'll be a little mixed up. Last year, if you didn't know, Uncle T was a nice gentleman for most of the season. He had lunch with Big T and came back a cantankerous old man. And ever since then, he's been talking shit to me and taking digs at me, and I love it. And I've been begging you to do a show with me for a long time, Uncle T. It is great to see you. How the hell are you?
Holden, I couldn't be any better. On the show here with Gary and DC, I usually get to do the podcast with them. Haven't gotten to do any shows with them. And then obviously, like you said, I haven't done anything with you as far as, baseball. Maybe that one show a couple weeks back I hopped on, but no, it's always good to be on with you, Holden. I give you a shit all the time in the chat and everything, but no, looking forward to football. We got tons of great coverage for football the next several months for people. And you and I'll be doing the show with G Rising and stuff. So yeah, it's good. We got a short 4-game slate tonight. It's, it's kind of ugly, but we'll find some winners for the people. Mangone
back in the chat. The only sick individual on this show is the one rubbing Big Massage 44's feet this week. I woke up this morning not realizing that Big T had won the bet. Once again, Draft Cheat deciding to make a bet where he gets nothing in return and the other person gets everything in return. DC, are you okay? How are things going, pal?
I'm all right. It was a rough evening. I had my my Ranger Suarez against what's his face from the Marlins, Jesus Luzardo. Luzardo doesn't even pitch well. He's like in the negatives, I think. And then I'm looking good. Suarez comes back and just shits the bed. And like you mentioned, I wouldn't have gotten anything even if I won, but I got to stop giving out these free rolls because now I'm on the hook if Big T takes me up on it to massage his feet, to rub his feet. So wash his feet, I believe was the exact term.
Yes,
so
wash.
He's here in Denver. I'll be avoiding his phone calls and his texts for the next 4 days, and hopefully he'll fly back east and I'll get out of it.
So for those of you that missed our premium show, this is why you get the premium content. I mean, behind the scenes, this happened behind the paywall yesterday. You don't get this on the free show. Let's go through this for the people that didn't know. DC, Big T was on Luzardo, who did not have a good start. He was not good. No. You were on Ranger Suarez. He did not. He had a worse start. What was the bet between the two sides?
Just who's going to score more fantasy points, and it was a tight race, but Luzardo did edge it out. So an L for DC on that one.
Yeah, and what do you think, Uncle T? Do you think that your nephew will take DC up on the foot washing bet, or is he going to say ixnay?
Yeah, he'll definitely not take him up on the bet. So I think DC's definitely going to be okay here as far as this bet. But no,
I think if we have to pay for Big T's next pedicure might be the solution to this.
Yeah, I was listening to the show last night, and DC just unprovoked again just comes up with a random bet. He just throws it out. He just puts himself out there, and Big T just swoops in and gets another dub off of DC again. And the good part for him is no, he's not going to want to cash in on this wager.
So many things have gone on here. So we've got that. Gary, quick question for you. Would you allow DC to wash your feet if Big T wants you to do it instead of him?
This is not transferable by
no, that's not what Big T said.
Nobody is touching my feet. Nobody. I don't do the whole pedicure. The wife wants me to go get a pedicure with her.
Why would you not?
I just don't like people touching my feet. No,
Not even ladies?
no, they're my
That's
feet.
really weird. Uncle T, I feel like, is afraid of feet as well. Uncle T either has a foot fetish with that mustache or he's afraid of feet. I'm going to go with afraid of feet.
Hard pass on the feet. I'm with Gary and Big T on this one. Hard pass. I don't want
No,
anybody touching
Big
my
T
feet.
loves getting a pedicure. You do
I
not.
won't. Yeah, I'm out on those too. So anything with the feet, I'm good.
Doesn't make sense to me. Absolutely. Yeah, JT Hayes, love those no respect. JT, what are you doing? Hop on the show, dude. Come on, hop on the show. Let's make it a whole party here today. This is great. I don't know what Simon put up there, but it says in the back, people are laughing. So good job, Simon. Whatever you put up there, I'm very proud of you. Let everybody know is what I got to do. Let everybody know RPS NFL 15. It's our promo code. It gets you 15% off for life. 15% off your monthly subscription for life. So lock it in now. You don't got to worry about it for the rest of your life, as long as we're around, as long as you're around. And you might want to get in this sooner than later. Here we are in preseason week number 2. There's only 3 weeks of preseason this year. This is going to run out before the season starts. So there is a little time limit on it. So again, RPS NFL 15 promo code gets you 15% off monthly subs for the life of your subscription. You know, Big T, Uncle T, you and I were doing NFL stuff last year. It was a blast. We got cores, we got playbooks, we got cores for literally every slate. We got the Showdown stuff. What else do you remember? What else are we giving our viewers this year and our listeners and our readers and our subscribers?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the podcasts that are taped on Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. You know, we've got ours on Tuesday. I think the Young Guys podcast, if you're doing it, I'm not sure if you are or not. On Wednesdays, we've got the tiers, the cores. And I think this year we're going to try to do some type of an article on the site each day of the week. And then we're going to do a video or a live show, I think, each day too. I'm not sure if it'll be different people, what we're going to talk about. But yeah, last year when we were, you know, into the football season, like everybody knows, we were only a couple months, you know, really going live with RPS. So a lot of it was still, you know what I mean, kind of in the stage of trying to figure it all out. And I think I think we crushed it last year. I think this year is going to be even better. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good content for the people and the subscribers. So really looking forward to football.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Getting a lot of questions about my OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm going to shut it down. I don't know if you guys knew the news, but no more nude content on OnlyFans. Therefore, no one's going to check my page out. So yes, seriously, we've gotten quite a few guys. It's uncomfortable, but they've said, are you going to keep it? And I said, no, I've got to get rid of it. Uncle T, what about yours?
My fans only page?
Your fans only, correct.
I mean, right now I got someone monitoring it right now. So I'm not like you. I don't monitor my own page. I have someone for that, Holden. But
okay.
And I don't have dudes messaging my fans only.
I know
page,
they don't.
So.
I know. I'm fine with that. It doesn't scare me off. I will say this though, you are the man with the mustache ride of the day. So
well, you guys coined that phrase. I didn't. So
why would you not enjoy that? Gary, I
do have a couple good plays for people at the end of the show too. So yeah, we got some good candidates for the play of the day tonight.
How many likes do we need? It's a 4-game slate. This is an odd show. It really is.
Don't set the number too high. I'll put that out there.
Yeah. We pushed the show back and we pushed it forward and we got all this crazy stuff going on today. Uncle T, to get your plays of the day, how many likes do we need?
What do we got now? 283 watching. We got 83. I think we can get to 150 easily.
Oh, that's too low.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
It's
Mustache ride play of the day.
I want to be able to give out these free plays.
You're getting out multiple ones and you're only going for 150. That's
I said there's multiple up for the play of the day. DC, help him out. Is he always?
Gary, what are we going to call your play of the day?
I have no idea.
What are you into, Gary?
I mean, I'm the Braves homer play of the day.
Nope, that doesn't work. Although DC all over the Braves last night, that was a very good evening.
Well, we were both on the Braves, but we both faded Freddie. So
it was not a good night.
See, I started Ranger Suarez in cash because of Freddie. Freddie basically got me Ranger Suarez.
Okay, that probably
Ranger Suarez got me what we thought out of Freddie.
Yeah,
you know, that's and then the Doyers went off last night too. So we are going to talk about this. We are going to talk about this late. No doubt about it. Yeah, Ron Reese. I'm not going to ban you from chat, but that was extraordinarily uncomfortable. So just
Holden, 250. Let's get 250.
250 likes.
JT Hayes is one of my guys. He's in chat. We got a lot of our guys in chat here helping us out with, watching the show tonight. Let's go 250. We get all.
Why isn't JT Hayes hopping on? That's the disappointing part.
That is a little hurtful, but
yeah, I love having JT Hayes. We got a 4-game slate. I mean, there's so much we could talk about, and JT Hayes decides to sit this one out. JT, you're cordially invited. But let's get this here. DC, let's start the slate off here. We're going to let Gary marinate. It's his debut. Gary, are you nervous? You okay?
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Are good?
Are you nervous?
Gary, are you sober?
Are you nervous that I'm on?
Yes. Are you sober?
Absolutely. 100%.
That's unfortunate. So, DC, let's talk about these pitchers here. And we got to get to both sites. But we'll start with DraftKings, which is really interesting, with Woodruff and Castillo at the top. Talk about those two. I mean, it's a $700 difference. Woodruff is more, but what about Woodruff and Castillo right now?
Yeah, I mean, for my money, clearly the two top pitchers on this slate, $9,200 for Woodruff, $8,500 for Castillo. These are lower price points than you typically see these guys at on DraftKings. I think, I don't know what exactly their strategy is for the 4-game slate, but you can easily get these two guys and kind of get most of the bats that you want, right? And even some stacks, if you go for those stacks, some of the cheaper ones, salary won't even be a thing. So the first thing I would say on this slate, just strategy-wise, don't worry about leaving money on the table. If you got a team you like, contrarian or otherwise, you leave, 1,000, 3K, 5K even on the table, I think could be in the optimal lineup tonight. So, yeah, I think spending up on Woodruff and Castillo, a good way to go on both sites. And then, really cheap option, Jameson Taillon. He's been great over the last, 8 or 10 starts at least, coming off a little bit of a rough one against Chicago, but I'd expect him to bounce back pretty well against the Twins. He's 6,300. So, that could be another one where, you build the lineup that you like. You got Woodruff and Castillo in there. One way to get different, right? Take out Woodruff, put in Taillon, that would be $2,900 on the table, and boom, there you go. There's a unique lineup right there. So a lot of ways, a lot of directions, strategy-wise to go on this slate, but I do think clearly for me, the 3 top pitching options, I'll put Castillo actually ahead of Woodruff just against Miami, but I think it's close between those two. So Castillo, Woodruff, and then Taillon for me, really the 3 pitchers I'm looking at.
On both sides, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have that many games, so what do we got? 8
yeah.
starters to choose from, and I think Bickford is going in inning.
Those 3 guys are going to be the most popular ones for sure. So you just know that going in, but that's the way I see it.
Who has the higher strikeout upside tonight, Woodruff or Castillo? Is it Castillo because he's facing the Marlins?
I think it's Castillo, yes, but it's close between the two. I mean, you can look at the strikeout prop, at least over at DraftKings. Woodruff is over 6.5 minus 105, and Castillo is over 7.5 plus 115. So they're both projected kind of right around 7 by the DraftKings sportsbook, at least.
All right, Uncle T, you playing FanDuel and DraftKings tonight, or just one or the other?
I'm just playing DK tonight. So
all right. Well, how about you do the DK, Gary? I don't know if you play FanDuel, but you got FanDuel tonight, buddy. So Uncle T, Woodruff, Castillo. I mean, DC just broke that down. Give us your thoughts on that. And is there anybody else we can go to tonight? Maybe a little Jameson Taillon, Taijuan Walker, too uncomfortable. What's your breakdown of the pitchers on DK?
Yeah, I have similar thoughts. I mean, again, it's a 4-game slate. I got similar thoughts as DC. But in my slate strategy today on the site, I was on the DK slate strategy today, and I mentioned it, and DC hit it spot on. I don't know what DK's doing, even on a 4-game slate. I mean, I would have fully expected both Castillo and Woodruff to be around the 10K mark, right? Give us a reason to play them. Give us more of a reason to play them and then try to get different another way. They've made it almost too easy. And for me, I don't like that. I'd rather them price them up over 10K, overprice them, if you will, and then to where you at least have to think about your roster construction. So that being said, again, I agree with DC. Those 2 guys, you can't argue either one. It's going to be a popular build. If you had to go a different direction, I love the Jameson Taillon. I was waiting right as we went on the show, the Minnesota Twins lineup broke. And, while there's some pop in here, Kepler, Polanco, you got it. Sano, they got some power. This lineup is not very good. So, they are free for the most part. So if you wanted to completely get different, get away from the Reds, Dodgers, Yankees that we'll talk about, clearly you can clearly go massive edge the other way and try to pick off 2 or 3 of these bats. And it is Yankee Stadium, but I'd probably prefer to go to Jameson Taillon. And the only other pitcher I will even mention, and again, it's just to try to get different, right? It's not like I'll mention it as an SP1, and this probably won't be a popular take. And again, it's just a GPP play. Maybe go down to a Taijuan Walker against the Dodgers later, who will be very popular, right? Walker just pitched very well against this team last week. And again, it's just to get different. It's not like it's something I'm going to, go and seek out. But on a 4-game slate, we got to figure out ways in the next 45 minutes to let people, to give people other options than to just say, hey, just play the Yankees and Reds and Dodgers and move on. You can't do that. So for me, clearly those guys are the top 2 up top, but I do like Taillon. And if you want to get really different, Taijuan Walker.
Gary, what do you think about that? Is there anybody else we could throw in the pool? And then what are we doing on FanDuel here? Because you got Woodruff $1,000 more than Castillo. You're only taking one of these guys. And can you make an argument for a pitcher outside of Woodruff and Castillo on FanDuel?
I think I'm pretty locked in on Castillo on FanDuel. His projections that I'm seeing is about four points higher than everybody else. So I definitely don't like the Taillon price. I don't like Taillon in general. I know he's been kind of good recently. His box scores have been pretty good, but he's been pretty bad against lefties. So, he's not striking any lefties out. He's getting all of his success versus the right-handed batters. So I'm going to stay away from Taillon, especially at 8,700 on FanDuel. And like I said, I'm pretty locked in on Castillo.
All right, very good. Anything else we want to talk about pitching wise, guys? I actually thought Uncle T brought something interesting up, DC, because he goes, we got to get different. We got to do something different on a 4-game slate. I don't know if we got to get different at pitcher, though. Like, we could probably get different at a couple position players. Do you think, are you with Uncle T, maybe get a little different on a 3rd or a 4th pitcher?
I think you can on the 3rd, right? If you want to play Taillon, I think that's okay. So there's Jameson Taillon and then the Taijuan Walker. So the Taijuan Walker is the 4th guy, right? Like, he's the only other guy that I'm willing to play. Like, I'm not, it's 4-game slate, so we can talk about every pitcher. I'm not, no matter how many lineups I have, I'm not willing to play John Gant against the Yankees. Wouldn't be willing to play Nick Neidert against the Reds. Not willing to play John Lester against Milwaukee. So, and then the Dodgers basically have a bullpen game and don't want to go there. So for me, there's just the 4 pitchers in play, in order. It's Castillo, Woodruff, Jameson Taillon, and Taijuan Walker. And I do agree with Uncle T that I think Taijuan Walker is really the only guy that, could match Woodruff and Castillo, even if Woodruff and Castillo have good games. Like, he's at least got a good enough arm. He's got some strikeout upside. Even though the matchup sucks against the Dodgers, he's at least a talented arm who, we've seen him have good games many times this year. And matchup sucks, no question about it. The Dodgers have their A+ lineup out there today, outside of Mookie Betts, who's injured. But beyond that, it's, their very best possible lineup. So, scary. And I like the Dodgers stack even. But if you are trying to get off the beaten path, Taijuan Walker, I think, is kind of one of the only ways to do it at pitcher. But like you mentioned, Holden, 8 teams to stack. You can try to pick out some lower owned bats. I think that's the better approach on this slate. I think just paying up for the chalk pitchers, probably the way you want to go.
Yeah, I think the one-offs, when we give those out, are probably going to be really valuable tonight on a 4-game slate.
Yeah,
hey, hit the like button for us.
Hold in real quick, just to put a cap on this for me. I'm going to go on. I'm going to just throw this out there. I'm out of Woodruff, Castillo, and even Taillon, I'm less interested in Woodruff. And again, I know that might not be the most popular, but I think the Cardinals have been a little bit more pesky recently, and the ballpark isn't great. And I kind of like the other side when we get to the bats, but I'm not as high on Woodruff as most tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there. So maybe that's why I like I said, I think St. Louis, I know their lineup is what it is. It's all right-handed heavy. I think Woodruff can clearly have a smash game here, but my tournament mindset tonight, and like always, is to try to figure out how to get a little bit different. And if I don't play Woodruff and I go and lock Castillo in and either go down to a Taillon or even a Walker, which again, I'm only mentioning him because of the situation of the slate, not because I like him that much. And then another thing to mention here, and we'll probably get to it. I know DC and Gary both think along these lines because we do the pods together so much. But on this type of short slate, when we get into the offense, there is nothing wrong at all about picking a one-off against your pitcher tonight.
Correct.
None at all. So that's definitely a way to get different right away, is to grab a one-off. And if he hits a bomb or maybe two bombs against your pitcher and he crushes outside of that, you're gonna be in great shape. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, guys. So that's the pitching. You guys are doing great. 142 likes with 337 watching. Terrific. JT Hayes said it was 255 likes was the number to get Uncle T's mustache ride and play.
Well, 140 of those likes are because Gary's here, and me and DC probably picked up the other two. So
I'm a big fan of Gary because Gary just sits there. He's nice and quiet, does his thing, comes on, gives winners, and it's all over. Plus, much better ballpark than the one you have in your background. The Great America Small Park. What a horrible place to watch a baseball game. Hot, muggy. At least it's hot and muggy in Marietta out in Cobb County in Atlanta. But look at that beautiful stadium, Uncle T. You got to get rid of that thing. That thing is awful. Go put a minor league stadium up there like in Charlotte.
It's definitely Hitter's Park. There ain't no doubt about it. And we haven't talked about any rain situation. I don't think we shouldn't have any trouble with rain, but we do have some storms that are trying to come south here from Ohio, northern Ohio down into the tri-state. But I don't think it's going to, if one hits over the park, we could get a delay, but I'm going on what I'm seeing is these games are going to play tonight. So I think we're in good shape there.
Gary, what is Joey Work saying? I blocked all of his comments in the chat because all he does is just talk shit the whole time. And it's funny because I keep poning him head to head. It's like he can just.
We need Joey Work on here. We need his winner.
We can. Yeah. Well, I'd love to get a winner from Joey Work sometime. Yeah, Gary, what were you saying, pal?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I don't know what he's talking about.
I know.
Who
anyways, RPS NFL 15% off your life of your monthly subscription. So monthly the whole time. And here's what we got. We got shows for you Monday through Friday. We got premium shows. We'll have a couple free shows, but premium shows. We're going to have articles like Uncle T said. We do have an optimizer. We got a lot. RPS NFL 15. If you want to hop on now before football season, JS, you and I do the Up to Lock show. I'll just say this. I've learned so much from him on that Up to Lock show, and he crushes. I think that Big T and Hoop have had such tremendous success. We kind of forget how successful JSU is too, man. This guy absolutely crushes. So you get his thoughts leading right up to lock, and it's very invaluable. And we'll have cores for every single slate. And don't forget about the Showdown side. There is a ton of action there on the Showdown side. Showdown side, you're going to love it for that opening night game. What do we got? The Cowboys and the Bucks, I think. So I'm excited about tonight. This is going to be terrific. Let's go. Position players. Let's go team by team, DC. Even if you think a team is for shit, we got plenty of time tonight. And JSU's DraftKings and FanDuel cores are up. Wow, that was quick. So I know that Simon is going to throw the cores up there, and JSU's DraftKings and FanDuel already up there for subscribers, and I know Simon's going to throw it out there. Draft cheat. Let's start. We'll go game by game, but let's go team by team. And even if you don't like it, maybe we could dig up a one-off from every team. Going up against Tyone tonight. Your Minnesota Twins. If you don't have a twin for me to play tonight, I know to stay off them.
Yeah, a couple. I think any of these left-handed bats really in Yankee Stadium with that short porch in right field are pretty good plays against Tyone, who we do know is going to be somewhat popular, right? I'm fairly confident he'll be the third most popular pitcher, probably well behind Castillo and Woodruff, but still get some leverage with some of these Twins bats if you want. Right at the top, Kepler, and then especially Jorge Polanco, who just gets it done almost every night. Man, I like Polanco with that short porch in right field. He's a guy who pulls almost all of his fly balls from the left side. And he doesn't have like the most just raw power, right? He doesn't have the light tower power, but he squares it up a lot, right? A lot of solid contact. he could get a cheapie tonight, no doubt about it, in Yankee Stadium. He's the type of player that could really benefit from that. So I think Jorge Polanco is a tremendous play. I like Kepler, who's turning it around and has always hit righties well. Even a guy like Luis Arraez, another guy who doesn't have huge power, but could benefit. You know, he could get a cheap home run down the line. He's a guy that could really pay off for that. So Polanco, by far my favorite. I would go Kepler next and then Arraez. But yeah, I mean, you could go to, if you need a super cheapie, you do not, but Jake Cave is 2K. I mean, but it's those three guys for me: Polanco, Kepler, Arraez, in that order that I won from the Twins.
Will you have a lineup with those guys in it, or maybe even one-offs from them, or is that down on the?
Yeah, those guys will be sprinkled in my lineups for sure.
Okay, cool. I like it. So some lefty power because the short porch out there in the matchup. Gary, let's go. Minnesota Twins, your breakdown.
Yeah, I'm not on Tyon tonight. I know he's been good, like I said earlier. I like these lefties. It's probably not going to make my core, but just because I like the Dodgers too much. But I do like Kepler, Polanco, Arraez, and I don't even hate taking a shot with Jake Cave. Like I said, all these lefties. Nick Gordon's in there, Min Price. There's a lot of lefties in this lineup who could cause some havoc for Tyon tonight. So definitely Polanco is really cheap. So
okay, let's go, Uncle T. Minnesota Twins, and then go flip after you get to the Twins. Give me some Yankees and a plan of attack in the Bronx tonight.
Yeah. As far as the Twins go, I mean, again, it's fairly simple for me. If you're not on Tyon, you have to like some of these Twins bats. It's Yankee Stadium. I would gear my concentration here towards the front of the lineup. I know Cave's got some pop from the left-handed side. He's only 2K down there in the 8-hole. But I'd probably concentrate more on the 1 through 4, maybe Sano, obviously at 1 through 5. They've obviously got some pop. I don't really have any interest in Simmons or Gordon or Jeffers, really. I know Jeffers got a little pop, but I don't know if I'd full stack them, but I know, based on the prices, they're basically free. So you could easily pair them with a full Dodger stack. I haven't tried it because I'm going to try to stay away from the Dodgers tonight because again, I'm trying to get a little bit different. And if it beats me, I'll go on to tomorrow's slate. So I'm going to be off of the Dodgers, and I don't really need the salary savings on these Minnesota Twins, but I get it. So again, Kepler, Polanco, Arraez, those are all good players. Josh Donaldson's been really cold lately, but could he knock one out or two in Yankee Stadium? Absolutely he could. So I definitely get that side. On the Yankee side, they're clearly going to be the chalk stack. Along with the Dodgers and Reds, but I do think the Yankees will be a little bit more than those other teams. So you got first base eligible in the 1 and 2 hole. You got Luke Voit going into the 1 hole, 3.5K, and then Anthony Rizzo at 3.7K. So you got to make a decision right away. If you're playing the Yankee stack, you're clearly going to have one or the other. I think Rizzo at the earlier in the day was going to come in higher owned. I still think he probably will, even though Luke Voit will garner some ownership now that he's in that leadoff spot. But again, you got Joey Gallo at 4.5K. That's just, he's $500, $600, $700, $800 underpriced in my opinion. John Gant probably won't go very long here, but John Gant's not very good. So they could clearly get 4, 5, 6 runs in the first couple innings off of Gant, and then they're well on their way. I get the fade of the Yankees because again, my thought process is, I'm not going to play the Dodgers. So I get it. You're trying to find one of these chalk teams that you're going to try to fade. For me, I'm going to go ahead and go overweight on the Yankees and underweight on one of the later games. So again, Gallo, Rougned Odor at 3K down there at third base in the 6 hole. I always like playing him. So there's a lot to like in this game for sure. You could even game stack it if you wanted.
You can game stack it if you want to. DC, the Yankees. I mean, we got Gallo, we got Voit, who's pissed off. There's a lot to like about this lineup tonight. Uncle T's saying the Dodgers are the chalk. Who's the chalk tonight? Is it the Yankees or the Dodgers? Or is it another team? I mean, I like the Brewers a little bit, but is it the Yankees or the Dodgers tonight?
I think the Yankees will be the most popular team on the slate, but Dodgers are going to be popular too. Maybe a little bit less so, just because they are going up against a much better pitcher in Taijuan Walker than. I mean, John Gant's just awful. It has been all year. He's super wild and gives up home runs. Like, I don't know. This Yankees team's so patient. It just seems like he's not going to make it very far. But the nice thing about you can obviously stack the Yankees, but I don't think you have to, right? You can grab a one-off from this team because they do most of their damage via the long ball. So there is a scenario, right, where they win, they only put up 3 or 4 runs, but you get the guy that hits 2 home runs. It does most of the damage for the Yankees. I think that's at least a somewhat realistic outcome. So you don't have to full stack the Yankees. Gallo's my favorite here, but Rizzo, Voit, Judge, I mean, those guys aren't far behind. Like Uncle T mentioned, Rougned Odor, I think, is a pretty good play. So, yeah, I mean, they're loaded. The Dodgers are loaded. And then the Reds, too, right? I mean, they've got a team total that's been going up throughout the day, almost 6 now. Might be past 6 by the time we get to lock here in half an hour. Warm, muggy day in Cincinnati, and this team's been red hot for most of the past 2 or 3 weeks, getting a little bit healthier now with Mike Moustakas back in the lineup. So, yeah, I really like all 3 of those teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Reds. I think you'll see ownership, again, I think more heavy on the Yankees, but spread out between those 3 and then the Brewers. I think, as you mentioned, Holden, another good way to go, and maybe a little bit lower ownership there. Just a little bit of lower team total. I mean, they're a full run lower than the Dodgers, almost a full run, and then more than a run lower than the Reds, and almost 2 runs lower than the Yankees. And team totals, I think, are the biggest thing that drives ownership, especially in stacks.
Okay, very good. Gary, let's go. Come on, buddy. Give me what you got tonight on the Yankees.
Yeah, like I said in the playbook, I'm expecting them probably to be around 50% owned. John Gant is since the trade, he's kind of been a reliever for the Twins, and his numbers have come around a little bit. He's got a 37% strikeout rate in his his small samples. And the Minnesota bullpen hasn't been too terrible. I'm seeing middle of the pack for them. I'm just going to fade this Yankees team. Chalk Yankees this year have just killed us time and time again. And I'm back on the fade train. I'm going to be overweight on the Dodgers. And I actually just put my core up on the site, and I got some Twins made it into my core. So,
ooh, little twin core action. I like it. Do you have a question in the chat? Also, I unblocked Joey, Uncle T, and you asked him to come on the show. Simon, do not allow Joey Work on the show today. I am going to say ixnay to Joey Work. I'm down on Joey Work today. Usually I love Joey Work. I say great things about Joey Work. Joey Work wins us money most of the time. Not today am I happy with Joey Work. Not because he didn't pick a winner earlier. I just feel like sticking it to him. So that makes me feel good. Also, Brian K wants you to talk him off of John Lester tonight. Would anybody like to talk Brian K off of John Lester tonight? Gary, you're already turning red and steaming. Why can't we play John Lester tonight?
I mean, the guy is just terrible. I don't have anything else to say about it. He's 5,700. He might get you 10. I mean, if you think 10 is okay, play him. That's all I got.
If you think 10 is okay, Big T, Uncle, God damn it, you're Uncle T, not Big T. Does he get 10 tonight? Does Lester get 10 points on DK tonight?
I'm gonna take the under. I couldn't imagine playing Lester. I can tell you one thing on this slate that has a couple good pitchers, 3 or 4 good stacks. If John Lester not playing John Lester beats me, so be it. I mean, there's a 15 gamer tomorrow we'll go at. If John Lester beats me, so I can't imagine, unless you're literally just wanting to be different. He'll be 1% owned, and he should be 0% owned. I couldn't imagine. DC, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I would just rather not play at all than play John Lester, right? Like I'm not playing John Lester. Like you said, I mean, if that's the winner, then that's the winner. But you won't find him on any of our lineups.
Oh boy, that's just poor John Lester. No respect. The guy comes out.
Stranger things have happened than that. It's certainly not impossible.
Hey, guy came out and struck out 4 in 4 innings. In that last start. So in that start against Milwaukee. He's coming off a good start. The problem is if you like strikeouts, you're not getting them. Like he could literally throw a complete game with 2 strikeouts.
Well, one, he ain't throwing no complete game.
No, he's not.
That.
Well, dude's 5 innings.
I almost
my age. He ain't going more than 4 or 5, and that's if he doesn't get knocked out of the box in the second or third inning. This is not a good spot for Lester.
I heard the John Lester complete game thought, and I almost offered up another free roll bet. If John
the
Lester
Rangers Suarez complete game did not.
I can't lose 2 in a row, so not today.
What was the bet going to be, DC?
I don't know. Nothing popped in my mind.
If John Lester gets 5 or more Ks, he'll suck on Uncle T's toes because Uncle T would like that. Hey, DC, your podcast. I think Uncle T is bowing out of it tonight. Tell people about your podcast, which is free.
You mean I'm bowing out of it? What do you mean, Holden? I didn't say I was bowing out. I said I love that the DC.
No, you didn't. You complained. I heard you during the show right before we started. You started, I don't want to stay up so late.
DC, stand up for me here. I did not say that.
He said he didn't want to stay up late enough.
We're in two different time zones. I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. Uncle T's in the Eastern Time Zone. I've got a late dinner tonight, and it's not going to work out. I can't ask Uncle T to stay up till 1 a.m. to record the podcast.
DC. That's what I'm talking about.
So weak. Yeah. This guy takes off for COVID. He freaking, he's doing this now. Uncle T, it's weak sauce, man. This is weak. All right, DraftKings, tell me about your podcast without Uncle T.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days a week. We don't do it sometimes when there's mostly early games, such as today. But a rotating cast of characters from RPS talking the next day's main baseball slate. So that's out, 4 or 5 days a week. Not on days where we have all early games or mostly early games, but other days other than that, it will be out. It'll be out tomorrow too. It might be a solo cast. That's all right. I'm love hearing the sound of my own voice, so don't mind doing that for half an hour, 45 minutes if no one can make it on. And check it out. Just search Run Pure Sports. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find it.
So here's the deal. We got Uncle T's DraftKings core. All the DraftKings cores are up on our site. DC, JSU, K. Falik. And then on the FanDuel side, JSU has posted his. G. Rison has posted his. And I think Stevie's supposed to post his today. I don't know what's going on with him. And Gary's got his FanDuel core, which is it's like the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. It's almost there. And I promise you this time it's not going to get blown up. RPS NFL 15% off the lifetime of your subscription. Get it now because this is going to be gone by the time the regular season starts in the NFL. And Mr. Mustache Ride, how many likes do we need now to get your plays at the end of the day?
Well, I'm responding to Brian K, and I love Brian K in the chat, by the way. But he says Uncle T has dinner at 4, bed at 8. Brian K, that is not true. That is not accurate, for one.
Absolutely is.
I actually stay up. I wish we were on the other thing where I could mute you, Holden, but I can't. But no, that is incorrect. I do stay up quite a bit late and watch my winners come in. So Brian K, I like you, but that is incorrect. And now we've got K. Falik in the chat getting on Holden. So I like that. Come on in.
No, I didn't see K. Falik getting on me. I'll just say this to you, Uncle T. There is no doubt you go to the early bird special and you can't even make it through the Super Bowl. I bet you pass out like at halftime.
So if you were to come in for the March blowout party we had at Big T's when he won the Millie, which you weren't because you weren't allowed out of your little 3-mile radius, you would have seen how late Uncle T stayed up. I stayed up till 3, 4 in the morning playing poker with Hoop and the boys.
Cocaine is a powerful drug. You shouldn't try it. Yeah, don't do that.
Why? I said those guys were like,
because that stuff will kill you, Uncle T.
Hoop, JT was in there, AP giving out free money. It was beautiful.
Uncle T, if you keep doing that stuff, it's gonna kill you. Yeah, you didn't hear what I said beforehand.
No,
Gary, let's go to our next game. And we're gonna go to Miami and Cincinnati. Anybody besides for Jesus Sanchez that we can play tonight on the Marlins?
Yeah, I'm not playing the Marlins. I'm all in on Castillo on both sites. So, like you said, Jesus Sanchez would be the guy. He's really cheap, but I'm not going to go there today.
Uncle T, Miami.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the likes here. We got what we need 180. We need 70 more likes here in the next 20 minutes. We can get there. Come on, Jack, get us a like.
Let's go.
Yeah, as far as this game, I can't. This is not one of the spots where I'm going to try to take a one-off on against Castillo. I think Castillo we lock in. I don't really care for these Miami bats at all. So hard pass on Miami. Did we go to? You want me to go over to the Reds or?
You want me to go to the Reds?
I didn't know if you were just wanting to talk.
No, we'll get
Miami
to DC
first.
next.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not on Miami. The two guys that I would be most likely to play if I wanted to pick one off against Castillo would be Jesus Sanchez, like Gary mentioned, and then I think the lefty Isan Diaz. Not the greatest hitter, but he does have some power from the left side, and we know how that park can play in Cincinnati. So a reasonable shot at a home run for those two guys, but I'm all over Castillo. I think he's a SP1 on the slate, and If they get to him, they get to him. But I'll be rolling with him.
Okay. So then on FanDuel, Moustakas he's basically free, right? What is he, 2.5? That doesn't make, I don't know. He's hitting 6 tonight against Nieder. So let's break down this Reds team. I got to feel like there's going to be some pieces coming out here. Castellanos been hitting the ball well. Votto's been hitting the ball well. Naquin's in a nice spot. There's a lot to choose from on the Reds, DC. What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, I think we should let Uncle T do this one because he's the Reds fan. I mean, he's got the Great American Small Park in his background. I'm sure you catch most, if not all, of the Reds games. Uncle T, you know, when I'm watching baseball, I'm kind of moving all over, so I don't see them all. But we've been on the Reds. I think last time you were on the podcast, I was talking about them as kind of a dark horse contender, World Series type contender. I still think it because you see, they'll need Winker back, but man, you look at this lineup when it's fully healthy: India, Winker, Castellanos, Votto, Moustakas, Stevenson. It's a very, very strong lineup. They're starting to get healthier. I mean, India is just a stud. So just interested to hear what you've seen. Castellanos, is he back to normal with that wrist injury? I think so. Votto's been tremendous. Do you expect him to keep it going? I kind of do with the Reds. I think they're a fantastic stack tonight.
Reds rolling tonight, Uncle T?
Yeah, I like the Reds quite a bit tonight. You got Nieder, in the starting lineup there as far as on the mound. But no, a quick thing. Yeah, and I haven't soured on the Reds at all, DC, since last time we talked. The one thing that is a little concerning, you mentioned that they're getting healthy. Living here and everything, they're actually not healthy right now as much as I would like them to be. India sat out a couple nights ago. He's dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue. Castellanos is back 100%. But, you got Winker. When Winker and India weren't in the lineup the other night, it makes them a totally different look of this lineup. And again, if all those pieces are in there, they just lost 2 out of 3 to the Cubs, which is really unacceptable. But in a big series where they got to knock those teams off. But no, I'm still pretty high on the Reds. I just think they need to get healthy. Winker is a big key and back in that lineup. But as far as tonight goes, you basically got a free square, especially from a cash standpoint. I don't play any cash games, but I would assume if Hoop and Tidal were on the show, Tyler Naquin's got to be a lock button, right? At 2.3K in the 2-hole. Mm-hmm. So he would be a lock button tonight. He probably is anyway. India at 4.4K is very, very cheap. And Votto is only 5K. In the 4-hole, and he's been smashing. So you don't have Suarez in the lineup tonight. You don't have that we just mentioned, Winker in there. I don't care as much for Aquino and Farmer down at the bottom of the lineup. But yeah, this Reds lineup tonight, again, it's I think the rain's going to definitely hold off. And in this ballpark, I could easily see them putting up 8-9 runs tonight.
All right, Gary, give me that rundown here. I want to hear it. Who are you picking out from the Reds tonight?
Yeah, Tyler Naquin, definitely. I agree. He is definitely a lock tonight at that price. I like his price on FanDuel too. He made it into my core over there. Also, Mike Moustakas, 2.5K on FanDuel. He is also in my core on FanDuel over there. So yeah, I definitely like these lefties. Nieder is nothing to sneeze. He's nothing to be afraid of. And we just saw in the series with Atlanta, this Miami pitching staff just walks everyone. So there's going to be a lot of runs here tonight.
Okay. We're going to take your questions here in a couple of minutes, guys, but I do want to remind you that for the premium subscribers, the cores are up in the site, and then Simon's going to be throwing the cores up here, and he has been throwing the cores up, but we got everything going right now.
Yeah, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
With Nieder in there, and again, all of us kind of like the Reds anyway. They had a 5.3 implied total with the other guy in there. Their total is nearing 6 now. So it's going to be hard not to have pieces of the Reds tonight. And if you don't like the Yankees, I can't imagine you fading the Reds too. So, even more reason to hop on the Reds tonight.
More reason to hop on the Reds tonight. Okay. And you're not worried about the weather, right? Everything's fine with the weather.
No, I mean, I'm looking out right now, and it's kind of clouding up here. I'm about 10 minutes south of the ballpark and into Kentucky. So I'm at the northern tip of Kentucky, which is, pretty close to the ballpark. And it's kind of clouding it up a little bit here, but I don't look for it to have any problem tonight with, any kind of delay or anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any issues. And it looks nice. Everywhere's in the 80s. The wind's not too bad. So not too bad. The weather's not bad tonight. Not at all. Like button. Yo, P, how many we need here, Uncle T? Where are we right now? Because we're only at 189.
Said 250. We need to get going. Yeah, 250. We got 370 watching.
I mean, we got all this Lester love in the chat. It's very
Oh,
bizarre. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. A little
It must not be
concerning.
subscribers.
They must. DC, you know what? We've taken our time. We can do game by game now. Let's go Milwaukee, St. Louis. I like this Milwaukee team. I think people are going to target Lester, obviously. The question is, who are the guys we're playing from Milwaukee today? Adames is standing out. Garcia is standing out. Manny Pena is another guy. Who are the players from Milwaukee, and is there anybody on the St. Louis side?
Yeah, I think, against Leicester, the main thing you want to target is, listen, you can play anybody against him, but the main thing you really want is right-handed power, preferably with a little bit of speed too, because he's not great at holding runners on. And Yadier Molina's not in that lineup for St. Louis either. So perhaps some running opportunities for the Brewers. Willy Adames, a guy with power and speed. I think he's the top play on the Brewers. Eduardo Escobar, 5,600 for Escobar is expensive, but I mean, you can kind of afford anyone you want a little bit on this slate, right? Like you just have to sacrifice one other bat, go cheap somewhere else, which there's plenty of ways to do. So he would be second for me. And then obviously El Garcia third. He's 4,300 on DraftKings, obviously power and speed, a little bit of speed from the right side. And then Lorenzo Cain, if you need the savings, if you're like really on the Brewers, I think is fine. But Luis Urias, I think, has enough power too, swinging from the right side there, hitting seventh, second base, third base eligible. So it's the right-handed guys. I'm not going to Christian Yelich here. It's been a struggle, man. I don't know. It doesn't deserve to be 5,700 anymore. Like it just crazy price point for him, given his lack of production. He's been a little bit better recently, but still not much power. I mean, this dude, he's got 6 home runs the entire season, right? Like it's just a stretch, I think, on this slate, even on a 4-game slate to go to Yelich. So he's a pretty easy fade as the top priced outfielder on the slate. But yeah, that right-handed power is where you want to go.
Gary the GOAT, what do you got for me?
Yeah, this team is probably number 5 for me on the night. Just good. I mean, I know Lester's pretty bad, but I normally never play the Brewers. I don't know why. I normally end up doing pretty well with the fade there. Yelich has been terrible. Escobar is probably in play there. Willy Adames, those two would probably be my favorites. And like DC said, Luis Urias has some power, but I don't think I'm going here tonight.
You're not going to bother with it. Okay. Uncle T, the ball is in your court, buddy. Run with it.
Yeah, the Brewers are the team. If you look at my cores in there today, they're free today, Colton, right? So we can give out the cores. So
yeah, give it out.
Yeah, I mean, my core. Yeah, if you want to give out that, I mean, I've got Castillo and Tyon along with Tyler Naquin, Joey Votto, Castellanos from the Reds, and then I've got Avisail Garcia and Willy Adames in my core. But I get what Gary's saying. But again, with me not maybe wanting to play as much, if at all, the Dodgers. And again, I don't want to keep saying it, but people that are watching this, there's 8 teams tonight. 4 of them are going to be pretty chalky. So there's only a couple ways you can go, and you're trying to get different. For me, I'm going to try to fade the Dodgers. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. The Milwaukee Brewers are the team that I'm going to try to fit in with either the Reds or the Yankees. So in doing that, again, DC mentioned it. Avisail Garcia, Willy Adames, Colton. I mean, all up and down this lineup, other than maybe Lorenzo Cain. I don't care as much for him in this lineup, but other than that, I really like the other pieces here where you can grab. So I just think they're in great spots here against Leicester. I don't really know how else to say it. Again, the ballpark isn't the greatest in St. Louis, but Leicester, I mean, you can hit it out of any ballpark against Leicester. I mean, it's going to be a rough night for Mr. Lester. I'm going to go on record to say that. So, I just can't. If he beats me, like we talked about with DC earlier, if he beats me, I have no problem closing the book early tonight, and maybe I'll get in bed early tonight if Lester crushes me. But and on the Cardinal side, this is where I was mentioning early in the show, Holden, that I think again I'm not as high on Woodruff tonight, and you could clearly pick off a couple guys. With Goldschmidt or Arenado, even O'Neill. And I know it's a righty situation, but Arenado has been coming on of late, a couple bombs. I think he had 3 days in a row where he hit a bomb. And then Goldschmidt obviously has power and O'Neill has power. So again, I'm not saying I love the Cardinals as far as that goes, but you could definitely pick out some one-offs against Woodruff. And if you somehow pick the right two or have a two-man stack and Woodruff has a rough outing, again, you're on your way.
Who am I missing on this game? DC, we get to you. Gary, who did I miss? Nobody? Everybody got to this game? Wonderful. Beautiful. Let's hit the like button. We hit 200. That was nice. JT Hayes getting a little he's getting a little hostile in chat, and he's got some bad words he's going to call if you don't get to 255. He said 255. Uncle T said 155, 150. JT said 255. Hey, if you really like us, you'll do that. You'll 255 it. If not, we'll be okay. But Uncle T, he wants to give out that mustache ride play of the day. There's no question about it. And all he's been doing is talking about fading the Dodgers tonight. Fine. If you're fading the Dodgers, Uncle T, what is DraftKings? What is Draft Cheat doing with the Doyers?
Yeah, the Dodgers didn't end up making my core here. Not that I don't like the Dodgers, not that I don't think they're good plays, but you can't recommend everybody. I do think they have clearly the top catcher play on the slate, and Will Smith. So he's going to be in there. But beyond that, I think they're fadeable. I could see Taijuan Walker, getting through this outing, right? Maybe he gives up 3 earned runs over 5 or 6 innings, something like that. Keeps the ball in the yard. I mean, he's a pretty good pitcher most of the time. So listen, I like the Dodgers, but I like the Yankees and the Reds better. I think it's close with the Brewers against Leicester. I just feel better taking the Brewers power guys against Leicester than I do the Dodgers guys against a much better pitcher, frankly, in Taijuan Walker. So that's where I'm at with it. I think if you're going with the Dodgers, I kind of like the full stack, right? Get 5 of them in there and hope they kind of go off, because the strength of this team is just so deep, right? And if they knock Taijuan Walker out of this game early, it could get ugly quickly for the Mets bullpen. So if you're going with the Dodgers, which I think is a totally reasonable thing to do, I think I would go for the full-on stack and load up on this team.
Load up on it. Okay.
If you're going that way, yeah.
Who's the one-off from the Mets then is what I'm trying to – is it Conforto? Is there anything we want to mess with? It's a bullpen.
I don't really want any Mets, but –
You don't want – Gary, any Mets out there you could make a case for one-off. Uncle T, any Mets you could make a case for a one-off.
I mean, you can always play Alonso at 4.4K. I'm not going to do it because I've already got my first base. Well, I mean, I've already got my first base spots already locked up. But if you wanted to, I mean, again, Pete Alonso he could always hit a bomb or two. So that's not breaking news, but he would be the one-off for sure.
One-on. All right, Gary, let's get to the Dodgers, man. What part of the Dodgers could we stack? Who's your favorite Dodgers? All things Dodgers.
I think everybody in this lineup except for Billy McKinney is in play tonight. Will Smith's definitely going to hit a bomb tonight. I love the way Taijuan Walker over the last month, he's given up a lot of home runs. I think it's 8 home runs to right-handed batters. Oof. And Will Smith destroys right-handed pitching. So he might hit 2 out today. I definitely like Max Muncy, who's been on a tear, and Corey Seager. So Trey Turner, Muncy, Seager, Will Smith, and Bellinger would be my preferred targets here. But anybody else, it's fine in the stack too. And okay. I will be stacked. The Dodgers are in my main lineup.
Uncle T, if you were stacking the Dodgers, and they are full stack tonight with Turner, Muncy, Turner, Seager, Smith, Pollock, Taylor, Bellinger in the pitcher spot. You're going to see pinch hitters down there in the 9-hole too. So there might be some guys on for Turner and Muncy and Turner. But who would you stack from the Dodgers tonight? Is there anybody you'd leave out?
Well, here's my issue, and I don't want to get back on the pricing thing that we talked about at the top of the show. But with them top 2 pitchers, Castillo and Woodruff, not being priced way up, if they were both priced up over 10K, there's no way you could fit a Dodger stack in here with those guys. You just can't do it. You got 6 of the 8 position guys are over 5K. So again, what's not to love about this Dodgers? From 1 through 8, you can always stack these guys. The thing too is on FanDuel, you can only stack 4. On DK, you can stack 5. You still got to figure out which 5 that you want to stack because they're all so damn good. So again, it's not a cop out. I'm just saying for tonight's slate only, with those pitchers not being priced up, you can clearly get, and I see why Gary likes them. I mean, he's right. I mean, there's nothing not to like. If you're going to stack them, you definitely got to go full stack here and just pair them with the Twins, pair them with the cheap Twins, or a couple of the cheap Reds bats. I know Naquin's in there, or if you want to do maybe a 5-2-1 or a 5-1-1-1, which I don't typically recommend, but you could do it. and pick out some other cheap bats. But I mean, I typically would probably go towards the bottom. Will Smith is always a guy I like against right-handed pitching. Maybe to get a little bit different, maybe grab the 5 through 9 or 5 through 8 guys just to try to be a little bit different and hope that the top of the order, kind of sucks and the bottom of the order gets it done. That'd be the one way I would go to try to get different.
Hey, Brian K. Yes, you could play a player against your pitcher tonight on a 4-game slate. Uncle T, any issues with that? No,
I
said that.
No, I mentioned that earlier in the show. Yeah, no, I would never do it on a 13, 14, 15 game slate. I don't think these guys would either. But on a shorter slate, I know there was one earlier in the year, DC, I think you might have taken a one-off against Garrett Cole, and I can't remember who the guy was. You might remember it. He hit 2 bombs for you, I think, that night. I can't recall who it was, but yeah, you can always do that on a short slate.
Yeah, that was Jordan Alvarez. That was nice. I didn't actually play Cole too, but the point still stands.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can do that tonight. I think that's a good strategic point. And then the other strategic point I'll make, like if you're not playing Castillo or you're not playing Woodruff, you got to get a bat or two at least, I think, against them, right? Because someone's going to have to do the damage for those two guys not to get into the optimal, right? Where you kind of need them. Like they're going to have to get hit around because the other pitching options aren't going to put up a huge score. So for another pitching option to rise to SB1 or SB2 on the slate, Woodruff and Castillo, they kind of have to fail, right? They can't be good because no one else is going to be able to pass them if they are good. So you're operating under the assumption that if you're fading them, that they have to be bad. If they're bad, there has to be some bats against them that do damage because these guys are not guys that are just going to like walk people and get nickel and dime necessarily. Like they'll probably have to give up a couple home runs to not get there in the optimal. So you got to think about that. If you are fading them, who do you want to take against them? Right. I mean, I know you asked us the guys against Castillo, we said Isan Diaz, Jesus Sanchez. Again, my recommendation is to play them, but if you're not, get some bats against them. And I think that's also true, at least to an extent, with Jameson Taillon, who I do think will be the 3rd most popular pitcher. If you don't have him in your lineup, grab a twin, right? Whether it's Polanco, Kepler, Luis Arias, get one of them. This isn't as critical as the Woodruff Castillo point, but I do think, the pitchers that I don't have, I want to get a little piece against them and try to pick out the bat that does the damage against that particular pitcher.
All right. Hope you boys got your bets in on New England +1 because everybody's sitting for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts is only going to play a series. But I was listening to you guys, I promise. Derek Ringering, he believes that you gave mustache rides, Uncle T. And you know what? This was a day, I didn't even know this was going to be a free show. It's a short slate. I'm actually impressed that we got over 200 likes.
What do you mean you're impressed? What the hell does that mean, Holden?
Oh,
I didn't. Me and Gary's on here, and we're not.
I didn't know it was free.
Hey, hit the mute button. What do you mean we couldn't get 200 likes just because me and Gary were on here?
Has nothing to do with Gary.
It's very hurtful.
Nothing to do with Gary. Nothing to do with Gary.
DC, help us out. We've had a great show here. Good flow, good mojo, and now Holden's going to dump on us.
No, I'm not dumping on you. I think there's reasons why we're at 209 and I'm happy with the number. JT's going overboard. He's shaming people. I think 210. If we get to 250, great. But this was a little bit of a different situation. The schedule was moved around and I'm on their side.
He's backpedaling, isn't he? He's backpedaling.
I need a mustache ride of the play of the day. Have you ever given one?
Well, first off, I love Derek Rendering in the chat. He's one of my guys, but he's incorrect. He's incorrect when he says full hair on hair. What the hell does that mean?
That means back in the 80s when you met your lovely wife. She was,
how old do you guys think I am? I'm not that much older than Big T.
Well, you are. You're quite a bit older. You're like 13 or 14 years.
I can run circles around Big T.
That's a long time. There's a lot of difference in grooming habits for women over those 15 years. Big difference between 1990 and 2005, pal.
Lawnmower 3.0.
All right. So who's the mustache ride play of the day?
We're going right into the plays of the day. Or we finished talking about the slate?
We're done. We did the whole slate. Gary, do you have anything else to say?
I wanted Gary to
nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
DC, would you like to say something else? DC,
where's Title Town at? Where's Title at?
You know what? Fuck that. Before you give your thing, RPS NFL 15. I'm going to push it one more time. Uncle T, it is your job, though, to sell Run Pure Sports. RPS NFL 15. Why are they signing up right now?
I mean, why shouldn't they sign up? All we do is pick winners. I mean, it's Football season coming up. We've crushed the golf content. We've got title on the MMA. Susie has been crushing the tennis. Joey Work and JJ and the boys over on the bet side. We haven't talked about the bet side. Holden, I see now why Joey doesn't like you very much.
Why?
You don't even promote the bet side. The bet side
Oh
is
my God, I'm the only one that ever does.
It's unbelievable how many winners Joey Work picks on the bet side.
You know what, Uncle T? I missed work with you. I missed the ball busting. What people don't understand is I invited the bet side out to Denver. Keg's like, oh, I got something. JJ go, I want to hang out with my girlfriend. Joey was the only one that was going to come out here. Joey and I actually get along, believe it or not. Now, sometimes we go overboard with the shit talking, but Joey and I get along. I just want you to know that. All right. Anyways, DC, there he is. He made it to the show.
I mean,
there's my guy right there.
The
I didn't even know you were
disrespect
coming on.
from Holden all show.
I didn't even know you were coming on. Oh, we just lost 10 viewers. I'm not even kidding. DC, we got DC's mom's basement play of the day. What's up?
I'm going Jorge Polanco takes Jameson Taillon deep first inning.
Little Jorge Polanco action. Okay. Gary the GOAT.
I'm on the same lines as Draft Cheat here, except I'm going Max Kepler in the first inning.
Hey, we'll go back to back. That works for me.
Should we be looking at a Twins team total here, guys? Seriously. You guys are all over them. Is it more price than anything else?
Pricing, and then just these kind of, I think they just have just a few really good individual plays. But like the back half of that lineup, I don't really like much at all.
So Gary, your play is going to be Max Kepler?
Max Kepler.
All right,
Where's
so we got
his promo?
Polanco.
What was his promo for the play of the day?
I don't
Gary.
know that.
Oh,
Y'all got to create that.
I think it's the hot Atlanta play of the day.
There you
I
go.
like that. I like that.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
They want us to put you in timeout, Holden, but we can't do it.
We
I wish
can't do
Joey
it.
Work had the
Joey, who are the winners tonight, man?
Oh man, I was putting him in timeout right away. Like this guy, all he did is complain the whole show. Like, oh, hey, I don't like Joey. Like I didn't give you a winner today.
I never
like,
said I don't like you.
You're not happy with one winner today. I gave you one play today already and it won. I got one more.
You
Obviously,
made
the
fun of
line
my
moved
winner,
a lot.
so that was great. I love it when you go against me. I think I'm 5-2 against you now. I'm going to count today as a win.
What do we got,
What are you
Joey?
counting?
What we got?
You get pwned by me. All right, what's your
This guy
play?
just makes up stuff.
What's
So
your
I
play,
did give
Reds?
away. I mean, this is the advantage of being a subscriber. Last night, I gave away the over in the small park game, Marlins Reds over 7.5. That number's now up to 9. So I mean, I'm not crazy about it at 9, 8.5. I wouldn't mind it if you could get it at 8.5. But that's what I gave out last night, and that's an official play.
8.5. And I saw it at 9.5 this morning. So yeah, hopefully you grabbed it earlier. You playing DFS tonight, Joey Work?
Yeah, I full stacked that game. Miami Cincy.
Oh, the Miami side too?
Woodruff with Miami Cincy full stack.
Woo!
FanDuel.
Wow.
Who do you like from Miami tonight, particularly? Did you like Sanchez at that price? I think he was like 2,200.
Yeah, I got Sanchez, Brian De La Cruz, Ian Diaz, and Anderson.
Okay, very good. Barks wants to know Reds or Dodgers.
Am I going to get to my play of the day, Holden?
No, you don't give mustache rides.
God damn.
I want your play of the day. What is it?
We started out the show well, and now I'm wanting either Joey or Title to take over the shows for now.
Too bad, buddy.
You're already on my
screwed.
bad side.
Wrong program. You gonna give your play, or are you just gonna?
Yeah,
pout?
hurtful. Yeah, we're going to St.
You're just gonna
Louis.
pout.
We're going to St. Louis. If you shut up for 1 minute, I'm going to give you the play of the day. We are going to St. Louis, and I am going to grab Avisale Garcia. I think he hits 2 bombs tonight against our dusty old 50-year-old John Lester. I think, as a matter of fact,
He won the game for them.
no, I
last
can't
night.
do it. I was going to throw out a DC bet, but I'm not going to do it.
What is it? Come
I
on, do it,
was
Uncle
going to predict
T.
that Lester ends up in the minus column tonight. He won't get positive points.
Okay, and what are you doing? Will you
I
shave
don't
your
know.
mustache?
I'm not going to be like DC and throw something out there. I mean,
I don't blame you.
Coward.
It's true.
Avisale Garcia is my play of the day for the show.
Avisale Garcia. I like it. Gary, how'd the first show go for you, pal? You all right? You feeling good?
I'm good.
You are feeling good?
Great debut. Great debut from Gary.
It was good.
Give him a golf
Yeah,
clap.
Gary, you're allowed to yell at Holden too. Just letting you
You
know
can yell at me anytime.
I'll get there.
Gary.
I'll get there.
Yeah. You don't need to feel more comfortable. It's okay. You can just do it.
It took me a few shows too, Gary, and then I'm like,
no, it didn't. I don't think it did take you a few shows. I'm pretty sure you
maybe
stepped right in.
Half of the first show.
Everybody else is doing it. You're like, all right, I'll just hop on the train too. No big deal. Guys, good luck. It was a fun show today. Gary, great to meet you, pal. Love your stuff. Love your work. Love seeing you in Discord. Again, RPS NFL 15% off the life of your subscription. And it's not just for the sports side, the bet side too. RunPureBets.com. Joey's got his NFL or his MLB picks. He's got UFC. JJ's taking care of tennis. He just hit. Joey, how about the Angels today? The dude takes the Angels money line, right? And they're down what was it, 10-2?
Yep.
Right? So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go focus on this Houston game I got some action on. I turned it on. It's 10-6, and we won the fucking bet. We won today. It was beautiful.
JJ already had it counted as a loss, too.
Did he?
The spreadsheet. He had to go back in there. You love to see it.
That was awesome. Maximus, Stassi, all the boys. Love it. Love the Ohtani mojo, too. So get on the bet side, guys. Great stuff. DC, have a good dinner tonight. Uncle T, whatever, dude. I highly recommend a mustache ride. They are really fun. And for Joey Work, Simon, thanks for not listening to me. This is Run Pure Sports. Have a good day.